The night sky stretches endlessly, a vast canvas of darkness punctuated by billions of stars, each one a distant sun whispering secrets from unfathomable distances. Imagine standing alone in a desert, the cold wind brushing against your face, as the Milky Way spills across the heavens like a river of molten silver. The silence is profound, almost tangible, yet it is filled with subtle voices, messages encoded in light, motion, and gravity. These cosmic whispers, imperceptible to our ordinary senses, hold the echoes of time itself, the story of a universe that has existed for over 13 billion years. Every star is a storyteller, yet their tales are not in words, nor in sounds we can hear. They exist in patterns, rhythms, and subtle variations that challenge the limits of human perception. From our vantage point on Earth, these silent messages arrive as fragile photons, traversing unimaginable distances, passing through voids colder than any earthly winter, past black holes whose gravity twists space and time, finally reaching our fragile instruments. Yet even as we detect them, we struggle to translate their language. They are both familiar and alien, revealing glimpses of worlds that defy comprehension, cosmic events that occurred eons before humanity ever existed. The mind races, grappling with images of stars being born in nebulae of incandescent gas, or exploding in violent supernovae that briefly outshine entire galaxies. It is a spectacle of awe, but also one of profound humility. As we gaze deeper into the cosmos, the vastness becomes almost incomprehensible. Light from some stars has traveled for millions or even billions of years, carrying messages from times long before human civilization. Every twinkle is a bridge across time, a silent letter sent from the past, arriving at this precise moment to meet our curious gaze. There is a tension between intimacy and distance, a haunting paradox that fills the heart with both wonder and melancholy. How can we, ephemeral beings on a tiny blue planet, even begin to understand the enormity of what lies beyond our sky? The whispers of the stars challenge not only our perception but also our imagination. They speak of physical laws so precise, galaxies so vast, and events so cataclysmic that they feel almost unreal. And yet, these phenomena are not mere abstract concepts. They are real, happening now, all around us, silently shaping the structure of reality itself. From the delicate dance of binary stars to the violent eruptions of gamma-ray bursts, the universe communicates in forms we can only begin to comprehend. This communication is indirect, elusive, yet persistent, urging humanity to look, to question, to strive for understanding. This opening moment is not merely an introduction, it is an invitation. The stars ask us to listen, not with our ears, but with our minds and hearts, to attune ourselves to a deeper rhythm that transcends language and time. It is a call to embark on a journey of exploration and discovery, where awe meets curiosity, and mystery fuels understanding. Every gaze upward is a step into a conversation billions of years in the making, a silent dialogue between the cosmos and those willing to observe, interpret, and imagine. The emotional weight of this realization is immense. We are part of a universe whose stories are older than our consciousness, yet accessible through our relentless curiosity. As night deepens, the sky becomes a theater of light and shadow. Constellations shimmer faintly, their ancient patterns tracing myths and stories told by civilizations long gone. Yet beneath the comforting familiarity of these shapes lies the stark reality of the unknown. The stars we see are but a fraction of what exists, and many signals remain invisible, beyond the reach of our instruments. This hidden universe holds secrets that may forever elude us, whispering enigmas in frequencies we cannot detect, in patterns we cannot decode. The contrast between the seen and unseen, the known and unknowable, heightens the sense of mystery, pulling the mind toward questions without answers. The cinematic experience of staring into this abyss evokes emotions that are at once intimate and cosmic. Fear, wonder, insignificance, and possibility coexist in a delicate balance. One cannot help but feel both a profound humility and an exhilaration at the realization that the universe is alive with silent stories waiting to be discovered. Each star becomes a character, each galaxy a narrative, each photon a messenger. The night sky is not empty, it is a symphony of existence, composed over billions of years, its melodies faint, yet capable of transforming anyone willing to listen. Here, at the threshold of understanding, the viewer is invited to pause and contemplate the delicate interplay between light and darkness, silence and communication, knowledge and mystery. The stars whisper, and we strain to hear, knowing that even a single revelation could shift our perception of reality. Yet the more we listen, the more we realize the vastness of the unknown. This tension, between the awe of discovery and the humility of our limitations, sets the stage for the journey ahead, a cinematic odyssey through space, time, and consciousness. The prologue concludes with a lingering sense of anticipation. The darkness above is not emptiness, it is potential, a canvas of unspoken stories, each waiting for the curious, the persistent, the dreamers. As the camera pans over the glittering expanse, the stars shimmer with quiet promise, hinting at secrets beyond our reach but within our imagination. The universe is vast, silent, and inscrutable, yet it invites us to explore, to wonder, and to listen, to hear the whispers that have traveled billions of years to meet our gaze. Here, in this quiet cosmic theater, the journey begins. The universe speaks to us in a language that is older than time itself, yet its words are invisible to our ears. Light, in all its forms, is the primary messenger, carrying with it stories from distant stars, exploding galaxies, and swirling nebulae. Imagine a photon leaving the surface of a star millions of light-years away, embarking on a journey across the void, traversing unimaginable distances, past cosmic phenomena that bend space and time, before finally reaching the lens of a telescope here on Earth. This single particle of light is a courier of information, a silent emissary bridging the gulf between human curiosity and the infinite unknown. Each color, intensity, and flicker encodes secrets about the universe's composition, age, and history, waiting for the discerning mind to decipher. The journey of light is both wondrous and humbling. When we gaze into the night sky, the twinkling stars are not simply points of illumination, they are cosmic archives, preserving the memory of events long past. Red-shifted light tells tales of galaxies racing away from us, evidence of an expanding cosmos born in a fiery beginning. Blue and ultraviolet emissions reveal stars in their youth, burning with furious intensity, while infrared reveals hidden nurseries where new stars are forming within clouds of dust. In every wavelength lies a chapter of a story billions of years in the making, a silent chronicle written in photons, invisible yet omnipresent. Contrast frames this narrative with the limits of human perception. Our eyes are only capable of detecting a sliver of the electromagnetic spectrum, a tiny fragment of the universe's expressive palette. We see a night sky peppered with points of light, unaware of the intricate tapestry beyond, where gamma rays, radio waves, and X-rays weave patterns that speak volumes to those who can interpret them. It is a stark reminder of both the richness of cosmic information and the boundaries of our natural senses. The universe is both generous and elusive, revealing itself in fragments, daring us to develop instruments and intellect capable of capturing its full symphony. The human quest to read the universe began with simple telescopes, optical devices that amplified our eyes' limited capacity. But as our technology advanced, so did our ability to perceive light beyond the visible. Radio telescopes listen to pulsars spinning like cosmic lighthouses, while X-ray detectors unveil the violent drama surrounding black holes. Each tool is a bridge, extending our perception into realms previously inaccessible, revealing the universe not as a silent void, but as a dynamic entity vibrating with information. The thrill lies in the discovery, a subtle flicker, an unexpected spike in a signal, a whisper of structure amid seeming chaos. But light is not merely a tool for measurement, it is a storyteller. Consider a supernova, a star's death throes sending shockwaves and light racing across space. To the casual observer, it may appear as a transient sparkle, but for the trained eye, it is a signal of creation and destruction, a message about the elements forged in stellar furnaces, elements that would one day become part of planets, oceans, and life itself. Here, we see the paradox of cosmic light. It is ephemeral yet eternal, local yet universal, silent yet eloquent. Every photon carries with it a duality of meaning, challenging us to interpret its language with both precision and imagination. The emotional resonance of this revelation cannot be overstated. Standing beneath the starry canopy, aware that each point of light is a messenger from a distant past, one feels a sense of both insignificance and profound connection. We are temporary, fragile beings on a tiny planet, yet we possess the ability to decode these cosmic messages, to translate the universe's light into knowledge, understanding, and awe. The contrast between human frailty and cosmic magnitude enhances the emotional impact, creating a deep engagement that is both intellectual and visceral. This section also poses compelling questions, designed to hook the viewer's curiosity. What secrets lie in the flicker of a distant quasar? How do photons carry the signature of cosmic events we may never witness directly? And if light is the language of the universe, what truths remain hidden in the shadows, in wavelengths we have yet to perceive? By ending with unanswered mysteries, the narrative propels the audience forward, eager to uncover the next revelation. Finally, the imagery is cinematic and immersive. Picture a beam of light traveling through the darkness of space, weaving through cosmic dust clouds, skimming past collapsing stars, and threading between galaxies. Each photon is a traveler, a storyteller, a witness to the grand narrative of existence. The universe is alive with these whispers of light, and with each advancement in observation, we come closer to understanding the messages encoded in their journey. This interplay of wonder, discovery, and limitation forms the backbone of our cosmic exploration, blending awe with curiosity, and mystery with revelation. Long before the age of modern telescopes and advanced astrophysics, humanity looked up at the night sky with wonder and reverence, searching for meaning among the stars. Ancient civilizations, Babylonians, Egyptians, Mayans, Greeks, and Chinese, were among the first astronomers, meticulously charting the movements of celestial bodies. To them, the heavens were not merely a backdrop to life on Earth, they were a living tapestry, a cosmic stage where gods, spirits, and ancestors enacted dramas that shaped human existence. Every rising star, every eclipse, and every wandering planet was interpreted as a message, a warning, or a blessing. In this interplay between observation and imagination, we see the roots of humanity's enduring fascination with the cosmos, a fascination that has persisted for millennia, evolving but never fading. The constellations, those familiar patterns traced across the night sky, were more than mythological storytelling. They were navigational tools, calendars, and instruments of agricultural planning. The Egyptians, for example, aligned the Great Pyramids with Orion's belt, linking human achievement to the celestial realm. The Polynesians sailed thousands of miles across the Pacific using star charts memorized from generations of oral tradition, demonstrating a profound practical understanding of the cosmos. This contrast between myth and utility illustrates the dual role of the stars. They were simultaneously mystical and functional, guiding both spirit and survival. Such practices reveal an intimate, almost tactile connection between early humans and the universe, a connection mediated through observation, pattern recognition, and imagination. Yet alongside practical uses, the stars inspired profound philosophical inquiry. Ancient Greek philosophers like Pythagoras and Aristotle contemplated the order and harmony of the heavens, speculating on the principles that govern celestial motion. They sensed that the universe was not chaotic but structured, operating according to rules that could, at least in theory, be understood by human reason. These early thinkers bridged myth and logic, establishing a tradition of questioning that laid the groundwork for scientific inquiry. The juxtaposition of mystical interpretation and rational analysis created a rich tapestry of human thought, where awe and curiosity were inseparable. The night sky was both a source of stories and a laboratory for ideas. Across continents, other civilizations developed unique perspectives on the cosmos. The Mayans tracked Venus with astonishing precision, connecting its cycles to agriculture, ritual, and prophecy. Chinese astronomers maintained meticulous records of supernovae, comets, and eclipses, sometimes centuries in advance. In India, ancient texts explored philosophical concepts of time, space, and the infinite, pondering the nature of existence itself through observation of the heavens. Through these diverse approaches, a common theme emerges. The stars compelled humans to look beyond themselves, to question their place in a vast and mysterious universe. Each culture, in its own way, sought to decode the silent messages written in the sky, blending empirical observation with imagination, pragmatism with philosophy. The contrast between myth and modern science deepens the sense of wonder. While ancient civilizations saw stories and gods in the stars, contemporary astrophysicists perceive light curves, spectral lines, and gravitational interactions. Yet the emotional resonance is strikingly similar. Then, as now, humans experienced awe, fear, and fascination when confronting the unknown. This continuity across time underscores a fundamental aspect of human nature, the desire to seek understanding, to interpret signals from a reality far larger than oneself. It is this enduring curiosity that connects our distant ancestors to today's scientists peering through the most powerful telescopes on Earth and in space. The cinematic imagery of ancient skywatchers is compelling. Picture a lone Egyptian priest in the desert, silhouetted against a tapestry of stars, aligning a simple sighting tool with Orion's belt. Imagine Polynesian navigators at sea, tracing invisible lines across the constellations, their hands steady as they chart a course through open ocean. See Mayan astronomers observing Venus as it blazes across the twilight, their calculations predicting eclipses decades in advance. These scenes convey not only intellectual pursuit but also the emotional depth of human connection with the cosmos, a blend of reverence, fear, and unquenchable curiosity. This section also emphasizes the narrative of continuity and evolution. The same questions that haunted ancient civilizations: what is our place in the cosmos? Are we alone? What forces govern the heavens? remain central to modern inquiry. By contrasting past interpretations with contemporary discoveries, viewers are invited to recognize the cumulative nature of human knowledge, a story unfolding over millennia, each generation building upon the insights of those who came before. The night sky becomes a bridge across time, linking myth, philosophy, and science into a unified quest for understanding. Finally, the section closes with a lingering sense of anticipation. The ancient skywatchers stared into darkness, not knowing what they might discover, yet driven by awe and curiosity. Their legacy is a testament to the human spirit, a relentless desire to observe, question, and imagine. As we transition from the myths and calculations of the past to the instruments and theories of the present, the viewer is primed to continue the journey deeper into the cosmos, guided by the same wonder that has inspired humanity for thousands of years. Across the vast expanse of the cosmos, there are phenomena so extreme, so precise, that they emit signals which reach us as faint echoes, whispering secrets from unimaginable distances. These cosmic messages are not always in the form of visible light. Many travel as radio waves, X-rays, or gravitational ripples through the fabric of space-time itself. Imagine a pulsar spinning hundreds of times per second, sending beams of radiation like a celestial lighthouse across the universe. Each pulse is a clockwork signal, steady and precise, yet originating from a star that has long since exhausted its nuclear fuel. Scientists have learned to listen to these whispers, decoding patterns that reveal the mass, rotation, and even internal structure of objects light years away. The thrill lies not just in detection, but in the realization that the universe communicates in ways we are only beginning to understand. Then there are the gravitational waves, ripples in spacetime caused by the cataclysmic dance of black holes and neutron stars. These waves propagate silently, imperceptible to our senses, yet they carry profound information about events so violent that they shake the very fabric of reality. Detecting them requires instruments of extraordinary sensitivity, like LIGO and Virgo, capable of measuring displacements thousands of times smaller than a proton. The discovery of gravitational waves was a revelation, a new language through which the cosmos speaks, previously hidden and now revealed. Each detection is a story, a fleeting conversation from the darkest corners of the universe, carrying both mystery and knowledge. Contrast is essential to grasp the enormity of these signals. On one hand, the universe appears silent and unyielding, a vast void devoid of life or sound. On the other, it hums with activity, broadcasting messages in frequencies we have only recently begun to perceive. The juxtaposition of deafening emptiness and subtle cosmic chatter evokes a sense of wonder and tension. We are both insignificant and central, tiny observers trying to decode messages from systems incomprehensibly larger and older than ourselves. This dynamic tension drives scientific inquiry, urging humans to innovate, adapt, and persist in the quest for understanding. Beyond pulsars and gravitational waves, supernovae provide another form of cosmic communication. When massive stars reach the end of their lives, they explode with unimaginable energy, briefly outshining entire galaxies. These explosions send shockwaves and radiation across space, seeding the universe with elements essential for life. The light curves, spectra, and neutrino emissions from supernovae are not random. They carry the fingerprints of stellar evolution, nucleosynthesis, and cosmic history. Scientists can reconstruct these events millions of years after they occurred, effectively reading the diary of the universe. Each supernova is both a death and a message, a violent punctuation mark in the ongoing story of existence. The imagery of these phenomena is cinematic in its scope and drama. Picture a neutron star spinning in a distant galaxy, its magnetic poles emitting beams of light that sweep across the void like lighthouses. Imagine two black holes spiraling toward each other, warping space and time until they merge in a cataclysmic burst that ripples through the universe. See a supernova lighting up a distant nebula, casting a glow across clouds of interstellar dust, creating patterns of light and shadow that dance across the void. Each scene is both beautiful and terrifying, a visual representation of the power and precision encoded in cosmic signals. This section emphasizes the dual nature of discovery, exhilaration and frustration. For every signal detected, countless others remain hidden, drowned out by cosmic noise or beyond the sensitivity of our instruments. Scientists are detectives, piecing together faint clues, decoding signals that are incomplete, and interpreting patterns that challenge current understanding. The process is painstaking, yet each breakthrough transforms our perception of the universe, revealing connections between phenomena once thought unrelated. The narrative tension lies in this pursuit, the thrill of uncovering a whisper from the cosmos and the agony of knowing so much remains beyond reach. Moreover, this exploration provokes profound philosophical reflection. The signals we detect are messages from processes that predate human existence by billions of years, emphasizing the fleeting nature of our own lives. Yet, in the act of listening, understanding, and interpreting, humanity asserts its place as a conscious observer within this immense, indifferent cosmos. There is a poetic resonance in realizing that through these whispers, the universe communicates not only its structure and history but also invites us into a dialogue, however one-sided it may be. The interplay of science and wonder here is both intellectual and emotional, creating a cinematic sense of discovery. As this section concludes, the audience is left with an intensified sense of curiosity and anticipation. The universe is alive with subtle, nearly imperceptible communications, each carrying secrets that span time and space. We have learned to detect some of these whispers, yet the majority remain enigmatic, teasing us with hints of knowledge just out of reach. This sets the stage for the next phase of the journey, where silence and signal intermingle, mystery deepens, and the drive to understand propels both scientists and viewers toward the unknown, creating a compelling momentum that carries the story forward. The universe, for all its brilliance and complexity, presents a paradox that has puzzled humans for centuries. It is both teeming with activity and yet overwhelmingly silent. When we gaze at the night sky, we are struck by its beauty, its infinite stars scattered like diamonds across a black velvet canvas, but we are also acutely aware of a profound emptiness. Between each celestial body lies vast stretches of nothingness, cold and dark, a silence so complete it borders on the incomprehensible. This silence is not merely an absence of sound, it is the quiet between events, the invisible spaces where light has yet to reach, where matter is too diffuse to register, and where the universe's secrets are shrouded in mystery. It is in this void that the most tantalizing questions arise: what exists in these gaps, and what messages are hidden beyond our reach? Contrast frames our understanding of these silent spaces. On one hand, the universe is alive with activity. Stars are born in nebulae, black holes consume matter in violent dances, and galaxies collide in slow-motion cosmic collisions. On the other hand, vast regions of space seem frozen, imperceptible to our instruments, offering no immediate clues, no light, no heat, no detectable signal. The tension between the observable and the unseen heightens the sense of mystery and wonder. It is a humbling reminder of our limitations. No matter how advanced our technology, much of the universe remains a silent expanse, whispering secrets that evade our understanding. The emotional resonance of this silence is profound. There is both fear and awe in contemplating the emptiness that surrounds us. The void is indifferent, vast beyond comprehension, and yet it is the canvas upon which the universe paints its grand narrative. In the silence, one can almost feel the weight of time, the eons that have passed since the first stars ignited, the cosmic events that occurred long before life emerged on Earth. There is a haunting beauty in this realization. We are ephemeral observers, fleeting in a universe that has existed for billions of years, and yet our curiosity allows us to peer into this silence and seek meaning. Humanity's quest to interpret these silent regions has led to remarkable innovation. Astronomers have developed increasingly sensitive instruments capable of detecting the faintest signals: radio waves from distant pulsars, X-rays from the edges of black holes, gravitational waves rippling through spacetime. Yet even with these tools, the universe often withholds its secrets, revealing only fragments of its story. This selective disclosure adds to the suspense, creating a cinematic tension that keeps the mind engaged. The silence becomes a character in itself, a mysterious force that challenges, teases, and inspires. Consider the areas of intergalactic space, where galaxies are separated by millions of light-years. Here, the emptiness is profound, and the matter is so sparse that traditional observation techniques struggle to detect it. Dark matter, dark energy, and the voids between cosmic structures dominate these regions, carrying with them the potential to unlock new understanding of physics and cosmology. Yet they remain largely invisible, their presence inferred only through indirect effects, their messages hidden in subtle gravitational shifts and the bending of light. The contrast between what we see and what remains hidden evokes a profound sense of mystery, emphasizing the limitations of human perception and the vastness of the unknown. The cinematic imagery of silence is compelling. Imagine a camera drifting through the void between galaxies, past vast empty spaces where not even the faintest star shines, punctuated occasionally by the distant glimmer of a solitary galaxy. Here the metaphorical quiet, broken only by the subtle hum of cosmic background radiation, a faint echo of the Big Bang. This silence is both isolating and inspiring. It underscores the scale of the universe while drawing attention to the intricate details that can be observed when we look closely. Every photon that arrives in this emptiness carries a story, yet countless others are lost forever in the void, their messages never reaching us. In these silent regions, contrast extends to human emotion and imagination. The emptiness evokes both dread and hope. Fear arises from the vast unknown, the possibility that the universe is indifferent or even hostile to life. Yet hope emerges from the understanding that within this silence, there are clues, waiting to be uncovered, patterns that can reveal the mechanisms of creation, evolution, and existence itself. The interplay of fear and curiosity drives exploration, encouraging humanity to innovate, to probe deeper, and to persist despite uncertainty. Finally, this section emphasizes the narrative of anticipation. The silence is not empty, it is pregnant with possibility. Every undetected signal, every unseen event, every hidden phenomenon represents an invitation to discovery. The void challenges us, teases us, and beckons us forward, suggesting that the universe has more to reveal than we can currently perceive. As viewers, we are left with a sense of tension and wonder, poised on the edge of revelation, ready to continue the journey into the cosmos, where the interplay of silence and signal will define our understanding and fuel our curiosity. Humanity's ability to decipher the universe's secrets has always been limited by the senses with which we were born. Our eyes perceive only a narrow sliver of light, our ears detect only a limited range of sound, and yet the cosmos communicates in ways far beyond these bounds. To overcome these limitations, humans have invented instruments of astonishing ingenuity, tools that extend perception across time, space, and the electromagnetic spectrum. Telescopes, spectrometers, radio dishes, and detectors of every conceivable type have transformed invisible cosmic signals into interpretable data, allowing us to listen to phenomena that would otherwise remain silent. These tools are more than mere machines, they are extensions of human curiosity, enabling us to pierce the veil of the universe and glimpse truths that have existed long before our species emerged. Consider the optical telescope, perhaps the most iconic of human instruments. From Galileo's first crude lenses to the massive observatories of today, optical telescopes have allowed us to see farther, sharper, and more clearly than our naked eyes ever could. Through these instruments, the faint light of distant stars and galaxies becomes accessible, revealing structure, motion, and interaction. Every detail observed, whether the spiral arms of a distant galaxy or the swirling storms of a gas giant, adds to our understanding of cosmic dynamics. Yet even these instruments have limits, constrained by the wavelengths of visible light and by the distortions of Earth's atmosphere, which led to the creation of space-based observatories like the Hubble Space Telescope. From orbit, the universe opens up in unprecedented clarity, a silent narrative unfolding across the cosmos. But optical light is only a fragment of the story. Radio telescopes allow us to detect emissions invisible to the human eye, such as the rhythmic pulses of neutron stars or the subtle signals from molecular clouds where stars are forming. Radio astronomy revealed phenomena that had been entirely hidden, offering insights into the birth and death of stars, the structure of our galaxy, and the presence of mysterious cosmic phenomena. The Very Large Array in New Mexico, with its multiple dish antennas working in concert, acts like a giant ear, capable of capturing these delicate whispers from across the universe. The contrast between what is visible and what is inaudible evokes awe and wonder, showing that reality is far richer than our immediate senses suggest. In addition to electromagnetic observation, gravitational wave detectors like LIGO and Virgo have opened an entirely new channel for exploration. These instruments sense ripples in spacetime caused by collisions of black holes and neutron stars, phenomena so violent they distort reality itself. Each detection is a fleeting message from the universe's most extreme events, one that would have gone unnoticed for all eternity without human ingenuity. The precision required to measure displacements smaller than a proton is staggering, yet the human mind and creativity have made the invisible tangible. These tools exemplify the power of persistence, imagination, and technical mastery in uncovering the universe's hidden truths. Spectroscopy, another cornerstone of modern astronomy, allows us to analyze the composition of stars, galaxies, and nebulae by splitting light into its constituent wavelengths. The subtle absorption and emission lines embedded in starlight reveal temperature, chemical composition, and motion, enabling scientists to reconstruct the life cycles of stars and the evolution of galaxies. Through this technique, the universe speaks in a language of color and pattern, a silent narrative of creation and destruction encoded in light itself. It is a form of storytelling older than human civilization, accessible only through tools that amplify perception and intellect. The emotional impact of these instruments cannot be overstated. They transform the incomprehensible vastness of space into a tangible experience, allowing humanity to engage with phenomena that would otherwise remain abstract. Observing the remnants of a supernova through a telescope, detecting a gravitational ripple across spacetime, or capturing the faint signal of a distant pulsar invokes both awe and humility. We are reminded of our smallness in the cosmic order, yet simultaneously elevated by our ability to comprehend and participate in the universe's unfolding story. This duality, the mixture of insignificance and empowerment, is at the heart of the cinematic experience, engaging viewers emotionally and intellectually. Innovation in observational tools is matched by advances in data analysis. Modern instruments generate torrents of information, requiring sophisticated algorithms and artificial intelligence to detect patterns and anomalies. These analytical tools act as translators, converting raw signals into meaningful insights, revealing the underlying structures and dynamics of the cosmos. From mapping the distribution of dark matter to tracking the formation of planetary systems, technology allows us to uncover layers of reality that were once hidden, drawing the silent universe into the realm of human understanding. Ultimately, the tools of revelation are emblematic of humanity's relentless curiosity. They demonstrate that the universe, though vast and often silent, can be interrogated, interpreted, and appreciated through persistence, creativity, and intelligence. Each instrument represents a step closer to decoding the whispers of the stars, bridging the gap between ignorance and insight. They are a testament to the interplay of imagination and science, a cinematic portrayal of our determination to hear what has remained unheard for eons. As this section concludes, the audience is left with a sense of wonder and anticipation. The universe is no longer an abstract expanse but a communicative entity, rich with signals, messages, and stories waiting to be revealed. The stage is set for the next chapter of exploration, where these tools allow humanity to approach the elusive question of life beyond Earth, the subtle patterns in cosmic light, and the profound mysteries that remain hidden, yet perceptible to those equipped to listen. The question of life beyond Earth has captivated human imagination for centuries, and the search for extraterrestrial signals represents one of the most tantalizing frontiers in modern science. Imagine scanning the night sky with instruments capable of detecting whispers across light years, listening for patterns that might signify intelligent communication. The universe, vast and ancient, is filled with countless stars, each potentially hosting planets, some of which may harbor life. Yet despite the enormity of this cosmic audience, the signals we seek are elusive, faint, and easily lost amid the noise of the cosmos. This pursuit is a delicate dance between hope and uncertainty, a quest that challenges both our technology and our imagination. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence, or SETI, is both scientific and philosophical. It is grounded in the rigorous detection of signals, narrowband radio waves, optical flashes, or subtle modulations, that could not be produced by natural phenomena. At the same time, it evokes profound questions about our place in the universe. Are we alone? If intelligent life exists elsewhere, what form might it take? Would they be reaching out, aware of our presence, or are we the only observers awake in this vast cosmic theater? The contrast between the possible promise of contact and the silence we often encounter heightens the tension, engaging curiosity while also evoking existential awe. Consider the example of pulsars, rapidly spinning neutron stars emitting regular pulses of radio waves. Early astronomers initially mistook one such signal for a potential extraterrestrial message, nicknaming it LGM-1, for Little Green Men. Although the source was eventually understood, the episode underscores the excitement and uncertainty inherent in the search for alien signals. Every anomaly, every unexpected pattern, holds the tantalizing possibility that we are on the verge of a revelation. This mixture of exhilaration and cautious skepticism keeps scientists, and audiences, on the edge of discovery, eager to interpret the faintest whisper from the cosmos. The emotional stakes of the search for life are profound. The discovery of a single signal of intelligent origin would be transformative, reshaping philosophy, religion, and the very conception of humanity's place in the cosmos. Yet even in the absence of definitive contact, the endeavor itself inspires wonder and humility. Each planet identified within a habitable zone, each chemical signature of water or organic molecules, each subtle irregularity in a star's light curve, carries the possibility of discovery. The tension between possibility and absence, between hope and the enduring silence, is a driving force in both scientific inquiry and cinematic storytelling. Technological advances have expanded our ability to search for life in ways that were unimaginable a century ago. Massive radio arrays scan the sky for minute fluctuations, optical telescopes detect flashes of light across billions of miles, and space-based observatories monitor exoplanets for atmospheric signatures suggestive of life. Scientists are developing algorithms to filter the overwhelming background noise of the universe, teasing out patterns that might indicate deliberate communication. These innovations allow humanity to listen in ways that mimic our own senses while vastly extending them, bridging the gap between human perception and the cosmos's hidden messages. Yet the search is as much about imagination as instrumentation. To interpret what we hear, or fail to hear, we must consider forms of life and intelligence that may be entirely unlike our own. Could a message arrive encoded in a spectrum we do not yet monitor? Could life exist in environments we consider hostile, communicating through means we cannot yet comprehend? The interplay of hope and skepticism shapes the narrative, drawing audiences into the tension between scientific rigor and the exhilarating possibility of contact. This duality creates both suspense and wonder, sustaining engagement while emphasizing the stakes of the endeavor. The cinematic imagery of this search is evocative. Picture a massive radio telescope, its enormous dish slowly pivoting against the backdrop of a star-filled sky, scanning the void for a signal that may never arrive. Imagine a distant exoplanet, bathed in the light of a red dwarf, its atmosphere whispering potential signs of life. See scientists hunched over banks of computers, analyzing endless streams of data, their faces reflecting a mixture of hope, exhaustion, and awe. These visuals underscore the intimacy and grandeur of the search, contrasting the human scale with the cosmic magnitude, and emphasizing the emotional tension inherent in this quest. Philosophical and existential implications permeate this pursuit. The possibility of encountering life beyond Earth forces us to confront questions about morality, consciousness, and the uniqueness of our existence. What would it mean if we are alone? What would it mean if we are not? These questions heighten the drama and emotional resonance, framing the search not merely as a scientific endeavor but as a profound journey into understanding ourselves. In this tension between hope and fear, the silence and the signals, viewers are drawn deeper into the story, compelled to imagine the unimaginable and consider the consequences of contact. Ultimately, the search for extraterrestrial signals is a story of persistence, curiosity, and wonder. It is a testament to human ingenuity and imagination, a quest to hear what the universe has whispered for billions of years. Each signal detected, or missed, adds to our understanding, refining our methods and our expectations. The hope of discovery drives us forward, even as the silence reminds us of the vastness of the unknown. It is a journey that embodies the thrill of exploration, the tension of uncertainty, and the profound beauty of the cosmos, setting the stage for the next chapter in humanity's engagement with the stars. The universe, in all its vast complexity, is governed by patterns that transcend time, space, and even perception. Among the most profound of these patterns is mathematics, a universal language that describes the motion of planets, the life cycles of stars, and the evolution of galaxies. Unlike spoken language, mathematics requires no translation. Its truths are consistent across cultures and civilizations. From the elegant symmetry of a spiral galaxy to the precise orbit of a moon around a distant planet, the universe follows rules that can be expressed through equations, numbers, and geometric relationships. This realization evokes both awe and humility. The cosmos is intelligible, yet far more intricate than any human mind can fully grasp. Consider the elegance of orbital mechanics. Planets revolve around stars in paths dictated by gravitational forces, their motion predictable through equations formulated centuries ago by Newton and refined by Einstein. Yet these same equations apply not just to our solar system, but to exoplanets orbiting distant stars, to binary systems in galaxies millions of light-years away. The patterns repeat, scale, and resonate across the cosmos, suggesting a profound underlying order. Observing this harmony creates a sense of wonder. The same principles that allow us to launch satellites around Earth also govern the dance of stars and galaxies, linking human ingenuity with universal law. The universe's mathematical structure extends beyond motion to phenomena of staggering complexity. Fractals appear in the shapes of nebulae, the branching of lightning-like plasma in auroras, and the filamentary structure of the cosmic web. Symmetry emerges in crystal-like formations of certain molecular clouds, in the spiral arms of galaxies, and even in the polarization of light from distant stars. Each mathematical pattern is a whisper from the cosmos, a sign that amidst apparent chaos there is order, predictability, and coherence. Yet the scale of these patterns, stretching across light-years, unfolding over billions of years, reminds us of human smallness and the magnitude of what lies beyond perception. Contrast deepens the emotional impact of these patterns. On one hand, mathematics provides clarity and predictability, a framework to understand the cosmos. On the other, the sheer scale and complexity of these laws evoke awe and a sense of mystery, for the universe often stretches beyond human intuition. Black holes warp spacetime in ways that defy ordinary understanding, quantum fluctuations introduce uncertainty at the smallest scales, and dark matter and dark energy hint at forces still largely inscrutable. In this interplay of comprehension and enigma, mathematics becomes both a key and a mirror, a tool for discovery, and a reflection of the limits of human cognition. One of the most striking examples of cosmic mathematics is the Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio, visible in spiral galaxies, sunflower seed arrangements, and the shape of certain nebulae. These patterns suggest an underlying aesthetic as well as functional logic to the universe, a harmony that resonates on both scientific and emotional levels. The connection between form and function, order and beauty, underscores the universality of mathematical principles, providing both intellectual satisfaction and profound wonder. The knowledge that the same numerical relationships that govern the arrangement of stars also appear in natural structures on Earth is a humbling reminder of the coherence woven into existence. Mathematics also allows us to predict, reconstruct, and explore phenomena that would otherwise remain invisible. By analyzing the gravitational effects of unseen bodies, scientists can infer the presence of planets orbiting distant stars or detect the subtle tug of dark matter on galaxies. Equations modeling the expansion of the universe reveal its origins in the Big Bang and suggest its fate billions of years in the future. In each case, abstract mathematical reasoning becomes a bridge to reality, converting invisible signals into meaningful understanding. The emotional resonance lies in this ability. The cosmos is intelligible, yet its magnitude remains staggering, and our capacity to decode its messages is limited only by our creativity and ingenuity. The cinematic imagery associated with cosmic mathematics is striking. Imagine a sweeping view of a spiral galaxy, its arms curving in perfect logarithmic spirals, or a time-lapse of a supernova remnant expanding symmetrically into the void. Visualize the cosmic web, vast filaments connecting clusters of galaxies across millions of light-years, forming a structure both intricate and awe-inspiring. These patterns, while abstract in their mathematical description, translate into profoundly visual experiences, bridging intellect and emotion, and reinforcing the sense that the universe is both orderly and magnificent. Finally, mathematics in the cosmos is not merely a tool for scientists, it is a language of connection. It links human perception to phenomena billions of light-years away, enabling understanding where direct observation is impossible. It allows us to interpret signals, predict outcomes, and appreciate the elegance of cosmic mechanics. The interplay of clarity and mystery, precision and wonder, creates a deeply engaging narrative, reminding viewers that the universe is intelligible, yet infinitely complex, and that the pursuit of understanding is both a cerebral and emotional journey. Human perception is limited, not by the universe itself, but by the fragile and imperfect instruments we use to observe it. Our senses, sight, hearing, touch, evolved to navigate the small, immediate world of Earth, not the vast, incomprehensible expanse of space. The stars that dazzle us are only a fraction of what exists. Countless signals remain invisible, frequencies undetectable, events unfolding in ways we cannot sense. Even the most sophisticated telescopes and detectors, designed to extend our perception, provide only partial glimpses into the cosmic symphony. This section explores the edge of perception, the boundary between what humans can detect and what remains hidden, revealing both the beauty and the frustration inherent in exploring a universe far larger and stranger than ourselves. Consider the electromagnetic spectrum. Humans perceive only a narrow band of wavelengths, the visible light that paints the night sky. Beyond this slice lies a universe filled with activity, radio waves from spinning neutron stars, X-rays from the accretion disks of black holes, infrared radiation from star-forming regions cloaked in dust. Each signal carries unique information, yet most remain invisible to the naked eye. This contrast between human limitation and cosmic richness evokes awe, as we realize that reality extends far beyond what we can directly experience. Our understanding of the universe is necessarily incomplete, built on indirect observation, inference, and interpretation. The edge of perception also reveals the subtlety and fragility of the signals themselves. Light from distant galaxies takes millions or even billions of years to reach Earth, often diminished and distorted by intervening matter and cosmic expansion. Gravitational waves ripple across the universe silently, detectable only by the most sensitive instruments. Signals can be fleeting, vanishing before they are captured, or hidden in noise so overwhelming that they are indistinguishable from the background. The universe is not withholding its secrets intentionally. Rather, the vast scales and extremes of space and time mean that much remains just beyond our grasp. This tension between availability and elusiveness creates both suspense and wonder, drawing the viewer deeper into the narrative. Technological advances stretch the boundaries of perception but also illuminate their limitations. Space-based telescopes, free from atmospheric distortion, reveal galaxies, nebulae, and supernovae with unprecedented clarity. Radio arrays capture signals from across the Milky Way, while neutrino detectors sense ghostly particles passing through Earth itself. Yet even with these instruments, we encounter phenomena that defy measurement, anomalies that challenge understanding, and patterns too subtle to decipher. The contrast between what we can perceive and what remains hidden is a constant reminder of the universe's scale and complexity, enhancing the cinematic tension of the story. Human perception is also bounded by the mind's capacity to interpret signals. Even when data is collected, translating it into understanding requires models, mathematics, and imagination. Observing a distant quasar or gravitational ripple is meaningless without the intellectual framework to decode its message. The interplay of perception and cognition underscores the fragile bridge between reality and understanding. We can see only what we are equipped to interpret, and each discovery challenges us to expand our conceptual and technological reach. This dual limitation, sensory and cognitive, creates both frustration and exhilaration, emphasizing the stakes of cosmic exploration. Emotionally, the edge of perception evokes humility and wonder. Recognizing our limitations can be unsettling, a reminder of human smallness in an immense universe. Yet it is also inspiring, as it highlights the ingenuity and persistence required to expand perception beyond natural boundaries. Every faint detection, every subtle pattern, every carefully interpreted signal represents a triumph of human curiosity and creativity. The contrast between our inherent limitations and the universe's boundless richness evokes both fear and fascination, a tension that keeps viewers emotionally engaged. Cinematic imagery helps convey these abstract ideas. Imagine a telescope in a remote desert, its enormous dish sweeping the heavens, capturing signals imperceptible to the naked eye. Picture a neutrino detector buried deep in Antarctic ice, listening silently for ghostly particles passing through the Earth. Visualize a computer screen filled with streams of data, each spike and dip representing distant cosmic events, some understood, others still mysteries. These images illustrate the delicate interplay of observation, interpretation, and discovery, highlighting the precarious boundary between the known and the unknown. The edge of perception is also a narrative tool, creating suspense and curiosity. Viewers are invited to consider the invisible universe, to imagine the phenomena that exist just beyond our reach, and to anticipate the discoveries that new instruments may reveal. This section establishes a sense of tension between human aspiration and cosmic reality, framing the pursuit of knowledge as a heroic struggle against the limitations of perception. The unknown is vast, but within it lies the potential for revelation, a promise that each step forward expands not only our understanding but our imagination. Ultimately, exploring the edge of perception is a meditation on both human capability and cosmic immensity. It reveals that while the universe may be infinitely rich and complex, human ingenuity allows us to probe deeper than ever before, bridging the gap between the visible and the hidden, the known and the unknowable. By embracing the limits of perception, we are drawn further into the mystery, compelled to continue the journey, and reminded that every discovery opens new frontiers of wonder. The universe is vast, and within it lies a delicate balance between chaos and order, randomness and structure, unpredictability and pattern. Every star, every planet, every galaxy is part of a grand cosmic tapestry woven over billions of years, yet within this expanse, remarkable regularities emerge. Consider the life cycle of stars. From dense clouds of gas and dust, gravity coaxes matter into luminous spheres that burn for millions or billions of years, fusing elements in their cores and ultimately ending their lives in spectacular explosions or quiet fades into obscurity. This process is not chaotic but governed by precise physical laws, creating a rhythm and order that spans time and space. Observing this interplay evokes awe, revealing that even amid apparent disorder, the universe is guided by underlying principles of harmony and inevitability. Contrast is central to understanding cosmic order. While stars burn with predictable nuclear fusion cycles, galaxies collide in violent interactions, distorting and reshaping one another in ways that seem unpredictable. Supernovae erupt with destructive power, black holes warp spacetime with invisible hands, and gamma-ray bursts flash across millions of light-years, yet these events are not random. They follow physical laws, obeying gravity, momentum, and the fundamental forces that govern matter and energy. The tension between chaos and order highlights the complexity of the universe, capturing the imagination while emphasizing both our ability and our limitations in understanding these processes. The mathematical elegance underlying cosmic phenomena is astonishing. The orbits of planets, the spin of neutron stars, and the spiral arms of galaxies all exhibit patterns describable through equations, symmetry, and ratios. Even phenomena that appear irregular often reveal hidden order when analyzed carefully. The distribution of galaxies across the universe follows a web-like structure, intricate yet governed by gravity and dark matter. This hidden coherence creates a sense of wonder, suggesting that the cosmos, despite its immensity and complexity, operates according to principles that are intelligible to the human mind, waiting to be decoded through observation, reasoning, and imagination. Human perception of this order is filtered through both science and storytelling. Astronomers chart the heavens, detecting patterns in light, motion, and matter. Physicists model forces and interactions. Mathematicians describe relationships and predict outcomes. Meanwhile, poets, artists, and philosophers interpret these discoveries, translating them into emotional and symbolic understanding. The combination of rigorous analysis and human imagination allows us to experience the universe as both precise and profound. We see the fusion of fact and wonder, the predictable dance of celestial bodies and the staggering scale that renders us small, yet capable of comprehension. The emotional resonance of this order is deeply cinematic. Imagine a nebula, clouds of gas illuminated by newborn stars, forming intricate filaments that stretch across light years. Visualize a galaxy spinning gracefully, its spiral arms curving in perfect logarithmic proportions. Picture the remnants of a supernova, expanding in a symmetrical shell, the echoes of creation frozen in time. These scenes convey not only scientific information but also the grandeur and poetry of cosmic processes, creating a sense of awe and perspective that is both intellectual and emotional. Contrast this with the unpredictable violence of a gamma-ray burst or a black hole merger, reminding us that order and chaos coexist, shaping the universe in tandem. Cosmic rhythms extend beyond individual phenomena to the universe as a whole. The expansion of space, governed by dark energy, the cosmic microwave background, the formation of structure from primordial fluctuations, all reveal a universe that evolves in patterns, with past events influencing the present and shaping the future. These rhythms are imperceptible in the short term but become apparent across eons, highlighting the interplay of cause and effect on scales that challenge human comprehension. Recognizing these patterns fosters both humility and wonder, as we understand our place within a universe that is at once predictable and infinitely mysterious. The concept of contrast is also central to emotional engagement. Viewers experience tension between familiarity and strangeness, stability and instability. A star may appear constant and eternal, yet its internal processes are dynamic and violent. A galaxy may seem serene from afar, yet within it, stars are born and die, black holes consume matter, and cosmic rays travel at near light speed. This tension between appearance and reality, between human perception and cosmic truth, creates a narrative drive, compelling curiosity and sustaining attention. Finally, the section emphasizes that understanding cosmic order is not merely an intellectual pursuit but a deeply emotional one. The universe's patterns inspire a sense of harmony, a recognition that amidst chaos, there is structure, amidst violence, there is rhythm, and amidst randomness, there is meaning. Observing these phenomena reminds us of our connection to a cosmos governed by laws we can perceive, interpret, and appreciate. It sets the stage for further exploration, preparing the audience to engage with deeper mysteries, where order and chaos intertwine, and where the whispers of the universe invite us to listen, interpret, and marvel. The cosmic web, the vast large-scale structure of the universe, is a testament to both the grandeur and subtlety of existence. Galaxies are not randomly scattered through space. They form intricate filaments, sheets, and voids, spanning hundreds of millions of light-years. This web-like architecture emerges from the interplay of gravity, dark matter, and the expansion of the universe, a silent choreography unfolding over billions of years. Observing this structure evokes awe. It is both majestic and delicate, a reminder that the cosmos is not merely a collection of isolated phenomena, but an interconnected system with rhythms, patterns, and hidden order. Each filament and void is a thread in a tapestry too vast to behold at once, yet comprehensible through careful observation and reasoning. The contrast between density and emptiness defines the cosmic web. In filaments, galaxies cluster, forming luminous chains that trace the distribution of matter across the universe. In the voids, expanses of near-nothingness stretch for millions of light-years, nearly devoid of galaxies, stars, or gas. This juxtaposition of crowded nodes and vast emptiness creates both visual drama and intellectual fascination. The voids are not barren, they are a stage for subtle processes, where gravity, dark energy, and quantum fluctuations shape the expansion and evolution of structure. The interplay between fullness and emptiness mirrors human experience. Complexity emerges from simplicity, and order arises from apparent emptiness. Dark matter, an invisible and enigmatic component, plays a crucial role in shaping the cosmic web. Though undetectable by ordinary light, its gravitational influence organizes galaxies into filaments and sheets, guiding their motion and interactions. Without dark matter, the universe would appear far less structured, and the formation of galaxies as we know them would be impossible. This hidden scaffolding exemplifies the contrast between the visible and the invisible, reminding us that much of reality is inferred rather than directly observed. Scientists detect its presence through gravitational lensing, galaxy rotation curves, and simulations that replicate large-scale structure, revealing a universe that is as much a mystery as it is a marvel. The emotional impact of the cosmic web is profound. Imagine a camera drifting through space, gliding along luminous filaments, passing clusters of galaxies, and peering into yawning voids. Each movement conveys both vastness and intimacy. The scale is incomprehensible, yet the structures are intricately detailed, a delicate interplay of forces across unimaginable distances. Observers are struck by the contrast of beauty and isolation, by the tension between interconnectedness and separation, and by the realization that these patterns emerged over billions of years, long before humanity existed. The cosmic web is a narrative of time and space, a visual and conceptual manifestation of order, chaos, and evolution intertwined. The formation of these structures is a story of both violence and elegance. Galaxies collide, merge, and form clusters. Matter flows along filaments under the influence of gravity, and dark energy pushes structures apart, driving the expansion of the universe. Supernovae and active galactic nuclei inject energy into surrounding regions, regulating star formation and influencing galactic evolution. These processes are dynamic, complex, and interdependent, yet they follow physical laws that can be modeled and predicted. The tension between chaotic interaction and deterministic physics creates both intellectual intrigue and emotional engagement, offering viewers a cinematic sense of cosmic drama. Observing the cosmic web also challenges human perception. While vast in scale, the structures are subtle when viewed individually. A single galaxy may seem isolated, and a filament invisible without large-scale surveys. It is only by aggregating observations across millions of galaxies that the underlying pattern becomes apparent. This contrast between apparent randomness and hidden order mirrors the broader theme of the universe. Much of reality is subtle, faint, or concealed, yet comprehensible through careful analysis and imaginative interpretation. The story of discovery becomes part of the narrative, drawing the audience into the process of scientific exploration itself. Technological innovation enables us to visualize and study the cosmic web in ways that were once impossible. Large-scale surveys, such as the Sloan Digital Sky Survey, map millions of galaxies, revealing the filamentary patterns that underpin the universe. Computational simulations recreate cosmic evolution, showing how matter flows along filaments, accumulates in clusters, and forms voids over billions of years. These tools allow humans to perceive structures that exceed our natural sensory capabilities, translating faint signals into striking visualizations that inspire wonder and curiosity. The interplay of observation, computation, and imagination transforms abstract data into cinematic experiences of cosmic scale. Finally, the cosmic web embodies both mystery and revelation. Its scale, complexity, and subtlety underscore humanity's smallness, yet its intelligibility reveals the power of observation, reasoning, and creativity. Each filament and void is a clue to the forces shaping the universe, a silent whisper from the cosmos waiting to be decoded. The audience is invited to contemplate the profound interconnection of galaxies, the hidden influence of dark matter, and the dynamic evolution of structures across eons. This section leaves viewers with a sense of awe, wonder, and anticipation, prepared to continue the journey deeper into the mysteries of the universe, where the interplay of light, matter, and gravity reveals both beauty and profound truth. The formation of stars and planetary systems is one of the most profound narratives in the cosmos, a story of creation, transformation, and delicate balance unfolding over millions of years. Stars are born within dense clouds of gas and dust, known as molecular clouds, where gravity slowly draws matter together. As these clumps condense, the material at their cores heats up, eventually igniting nuclear fusion, and a star is born, a brilliant beacon illuminating the surrounding darkness. Around many of these young stars, disks of gas and dust begin to coalesce into planets, moons, asteroids, and comets, setting the stage for the emergence of complex systems. The process is both chaotic and precise, a cosmic dance guided by physical laws yet shaped by chance and environmental factors. This section delves into that balance, exploring the origins of the celestial structures that define our universe. Contrast enhances the drama of stellar and planetary formation. On one hand, the birth of a star is an orderly process governed by gravity, thermodynamics, and nuclear physics. On the other, the environment is turbulent. Shockwaves from nearby supernovae, magnetic fields, and collisions of gas clouds influence outcomes in unpredictable ways. Planetary disks evolve over millions of years, with dust grains colliding, sticking, and forming larger bodies, sometimes coalescing into planets, sometimes scattered into the void. This tension between order and chaos mirrors the universe at large and evokes a sense of both awe and suspense. The cosmic nursery is a place of both creation and destruction, of potential realized and potential lost. The imagery associated with these processes is breathtaking. Imagine a molecular cloud, vast and dark, illuminated by the glow of newborn stars piercing the dust. Picture swirling disks of gas and dust encircling a young star, gradually clumping into planetesimals, the seeds of future worlds. See shockwaves ripple through a cloud, compressing some regions into stars while dispersing others, a cosmic balance of constructive and destructive forces. These scenes convey both scale and intimacy, the vastness of space juxtaposed with the detailed processes that give rise to planets and stars, creating a cinematic sense of wonder and immersion. The emotional resonance of stellar formation is profound. Observing these processes reminds us of our own origins, as the atoms in our bodies were forged in the hearts of ancient stars, scattered across space by supernovae. The birth of stars is thus intimately connected to life itself, linking human existence to cosmic events billions of years in the making. Contrast heightens the impact. The violent processes that give rise to stars and planets also sow the seeds for life, a reminder that creation often requires destruction, and that beauty and danger coexist in the universe. This duality fosters both intellectual fascination and emotional engagement. The evolution of planetary systems adds another layer of complexity. Planets interact gravitationally, their orbits shifting over time, sometimes leading to collisions, ejections, or stable configurations. The presence of gas giants can sculpt the architecture of a system, while smaller terrestrial planets may form in more stable regions. These interactions are subtle yet critical, demonstrating the delicate balance required for habitable worlds to emerge. In studying these systems, scientists gain insight into the diversity of planetary architectures, from tightly packed systems of rocky planets to sprawling arrangements dominated by gas giants, each telling a unique story of formation and evolution. Technological advances allow us to witness these processes across the galaxy. Space telescopes like Hubble, Spitzer, and the James Webb Space Telescope peer into star-forming regions, capturing the glow of dust and gas with unprecedented clarity. Observations in infrared light penetrate obscuring clouds, revealing hidden stars and protoplanetary disks. Radio telescopes detect molecular signatures, tracing the chemistry that seeds planetary formation and potentially life itself. By combining data across wavelengths, scientists reconstruct the narrative of creation, translating faint signals into vivid imagery and measurable insights. The interplay of observation, theory, and simulation enables a cinematic portrayal of formation processes, making the invisible visible and the incomprehensible tangible. Philosophical reflection emerges naturally from this exploration. The formation of stars and planets illustrates the interconnectedness of the cosmos. Forces operating over incomprehensible distances and timescales give rise to structures capable of supporting life. It evokes both humility and awe, highlighting the delicate balance required for complexity to emerge. The process is a reminder that our existence is not an accident but the result of cosmic events unfolding over billions of years, a narrative that merges science and wonder, intellect and emotion. Finally, the section closes with anticipation. While we have observed countless stellar nurseries and planetary disks, many mysteries remain. How exactly do planets acquire the elements necessary for life? What processes govern the diversity of planetary systems? The answers are hidden in the swirling dust and gas, waiting for human curiosity and ingenuity to uncover them. Viewers are left with a sense of scale, beauty, and mystery, poised to continue the journey deeper into the mechanisms that shape stars, planets, and the potential for life across the universe. The emergence of life on planets is one of the universe's most profound mysteries, a phenomenon that bridges the realms of chemistry, biology, and cosmic evolution. Life is not a simple occurrence. It arises from a delicate balance of conditions, chemical building blocks, and environmental stability. On Earth, this balance was achieved over billions of years, with the right combination of water, temperature, chemical elements, and energy sources allowing molecules to organize into increasingly complex structures. From these early organic compounds, the first primitive cells emerged, capable of metabolism, replication, and adaptation. The story of life's emergence is both scientific and poetic, illustrating how the raw materials of the cosmos can, under precise conditions, give rise to self-sustaining systems capable of evolution and consciousness. Contrast amplifies the drama of life's origins. On one hand, the universe is vast and inhospitable, filled with radiation, extreme temperatures, and chemical hazards that would destroy delicate molecules. On the other hand, life emerges in hidden niches, deep oceans warmed by hydrothermal vents, shallow pools bathed in sunlight, and sheltered environments where chemical reactions can proceed with stability. This tension between hostility and opportunity emphasizes the fragility of life and the improbability of its emergence, creating a narrative filled with suspense, wonder, and awe. Each successful molecular assembly represents a triumph over cosmic adversity, a whisper of order arising from chaos. The chemical processes that lead to life are both intricate and astonishingly elegant. Simple molecules like water, carbon dioxide, ammonia, and methane interact under the influence of energy from sunlight, volcanic activity, or lightning, producing more complex organic compounds. Amino acids, nucleotides, and lipids, the building blocks of proteins, DNA, and cell membranes, form spontaneously in laboratory simulations under conditions similar to early Earth. These molecules then assemble into protocells, primitive structures with boundaries that maintain internal chemical reactions, setting the stage for replication and evolution. The transition from chemistry to biology is subtle, almost imperceptible, yet it marks a pivotal threshold. The universe, through natural processes, begins to create systems capable of sustaining themselves and adapting to their environment. Imagery plays a central role in conveying the cinematic scope of life's origins. Picture a primordial ocean, its surface rippling under the glow of a nascent sun, lightning striking the water, sparking chemical reactions within hidden pools. Visualize microscopic protocells floating amidst turbulent currents, membranes forming and reforming, molecules assembling into patterns of growing complexity. See volcanic vents deep under the ocean floor, spewing mineral-rich plumes that create isolated pockets where life's first stirrings take place. These images emphasize both scale and intimacy, linking cosmic processes to the microscopic beginnings of life, creating a narrative that is both intellectually satisfying and emotionally engaging. The emergence of life is also a story of timing and contingency. The Earth's early environment provided windows of opportunity, brief periods during which conditions were just right for chemical evolution to proceed. Small shifts in temperature, radiation levels, or chemical composition could have prevented life from forming. This fragility underscores the improbability of life and elevates its emergence to a remarkable achievement of natural processes. Contrast heightens the drama. The same universe capable of nurturing life is also capable of annihilating it, reminding viewers of both the wonder and precariousness of existence. From a philosophical perspective, the origins of life invite reflection on humanity's place in the cosmos. The atoms composing our bodies were forged in ancient stars, scattered across the galaxy, and eventually incorporated into living systems. Life is thus intimately connected to the larger story of cosmic evolution, a bridge between the inanimate universe and conscious experience. Recognizing this continuity evokes awe and humility. We are both products and observers of cosmic processes, capable of understanding the universe even as we are inseparable from it. The narrative of life's origins therefore becomes both a scientific journey and an existential meditation. Modern science continues to explore the emergence of life beyond Earth, seeking signs of similar processes on other planets and moons. Mars, Europa, Enceladus, and exoplanets' inhabitable zones provide tantalizing possibilities for life elsewhere, and missions equipped with advanced instruments search for chemical markers, microbial life, and biosignatures. The contrast between Earth, where life emerged and flourished, and these distant worlds, where life may be absent or hidden, sustains a sense of mystery and anticipation. Each discovery, or absence thereof, adds to our understanding of the universality or rarity of life, fueling curiosity and wonder. Ultimately, the emergence of life is a narrative of improbability, resilience, and cosmic connection. It exemplifies how the universe can transform raw elements into self-sustaining systems capable of adaptation and evolution. This section leaves viewers with a sense of awe at the delicate balance required for life, the intricate chemistry that underpins it, and the profound implications for humanity's understanding of existence. It sets the stage for further exploration into consciousness, intelligence, and the ongoing dialogue between life and the cosmos, deepening both scientific and emotional engagement. The evolution of life from its simplest forms into the astonishing diversity we see today is a story of persistence, adaptation, and profound complexity. On early Earth, life began as microscopic organisms, single-celled beings that survived in volatile environments and endured cosmic events that could have easily extinguished them. Over billions of years, these organisms evolved, gradually increasing in complexity, experimenting with new structures, metabolic pathways, and reproductive strategies. Multicellular life emerged, allowing specialization of function, the development of tissues, organs, and eventually complex organisms capable of movement, perception, and interaction with their environment. The narrative of evolution is both a scientific journey through deep time and a cinematic story of struggle, triumph, and relentless adaptation. Contrast is central to the drama of evolution. Life evolves amidst harsh conditions, from volcanic activity and asteroid impacts to extreme climates and shifts in the planet's atmosphere. Organisms must adapt, survive, or perish. Yet within these dangers, opportunity arises, ecological niches are created, new traits confer advantages, and evolutionary pathways unfold in unexpected ways. This interplay of peril and possibility amplifies tension and engagement, providing a narrative rhythm that mirrors the universe's broader balance of chaos and order. Life's persistence is a testament to resilience, and each adaptation is a triumph over adversity, emphasizing the cinematic tension inherent in the story. The mechanisms of evolution are intricate and awe-inspiring. Natural selection favors traits that enhance survival and reproduction, while genetic variation introduces novelty. Mutations, gene duplications, and horizontal gene transfer contribute to the tapestry of life, creating the raw material upon which selection acts. Over time, these processes yield complexity. The emergence of eyes, wings, complex brains, and social behavior are milestones in the evolutionary narrative. Evolution is not linear nor predictable. It is a branching, dynamic process shaped by environmental pressures, chance events, and historical contingencies. The unpredictability heightens suspense, as each change may determine the survival or extinction of entire lineages, making evolution both a scientific and emotional drama. Cinematic imagery brings the story of evolution to life. Imagine primordial seas teeming with microbial mats, the first hint of coordinated life forms moving in fluid motion. Picture trilobites crawling across ocean floors hundreds of millions of years ago, armored and agile, responding to predators and environmental changes. Visualize forests emerging in the Devonian, insects taking flight, and vertebrates transitioning to land, each scene a milestone in life's ever-unfolding story. These images not only convey scientific fact but also evoke wonder, connecting the viewer emotionally to life's epic journey and underscoring the grandeur of evolutionary processes. The evolutionary narrative is also a story of scale, both temporal and spatial. Changes occur over millions of years, yet their effects resonate across ecosystems and lineages. Local adaptations, such as coloration for camouflage or specialized feeding mechanisms, can influence the survival of species and alter entire ecological dynamics. On larger scales, mass extinctions periodically reset the evolutionary landscape, wiping out dominant species and providing opportunities for new forms to rise. The contrast between slow, incremental change and sudden, catastrophic events adds tension and suspense, highlighting the delicate interplay between stability and upheaval that drives evolutionary innovation. The emergence of intelligence and consciousness is a pinnacle of evolutionary complexity. Life evolves not only to survive but to interpret, anticipate, and manipulate the environment. Brains capable of learning, memory, and decision-making allow organisms to interact with unprecedented sophistication. Social behavior, communication, and culture arise, creating communities, traditions, and even rudimentary technologies. The evolution of consciousness transforms life from mere survival to the capacity for reflection, curiosity, and understanding, setting the stage for species capable of probing the universe itself. This progression from simple cells to sentient beings is a narrative arc filled with drama, struggle, and profound wonder. Environmental pressures play a key role in shaping evolutionary outcomes. Climate change, tectonic shifts, predator-prey dynamics, and resource competition all drive adaptation and innovation. For example, the transition from water to land required physiological and structural modifications, lungs replaced gills, limbs adapted for locomotion, and sensory systems evolved for new conditions. Each adaptation is both a triumph and a risk, a solution to an immediate problem that may shape long-term survival. This constant negotiation between challenge and opportunity creates a narrative of suspense and discovery, highlighting life's resilience and ingenuity. The fossil record serves as both evidence and narrative guide, revealing the chronology of evolutionary milestones. Fossils capture moments in time, preserving forms long extinct yet deeply influential in shaping subsequent life. From the first hard-shelled organisms to the rise of mammals and the eventual emergence of humans, the record is a cinematic archive, illustrating both continuity and transformation. Each fossil is a window into a world that no longer exists, a story of adaptation, survival, and extinction that resonates with the themes of persistence and impermanence. Genetic research deepens our understanding of evolution, revealing hidden connections between species and tracing the pathways of ancestry. DNA sequencing uncovers shared genes, evolutionary bottlenecks, and horizontal transfers, providing insights into the mechanisms behind diversity and adaptation. The ability to map genomes across species highlights the intricate web of life, emphasizing interconnectedness and the continuity of evolutionary processes. This molecular perspective adds depth to the narrative, linking visible forms with invisible instructions and revealing evolution as both tangible and abstract, concrete and conceptual. Finally, the evolution of life is a narrative that resonates emotionally, intellectually, and philosophically. It demonstrates resilience in the face of adversity, creativity through adaptation, and continuity across billions of years. The contrast between fragile beginnings and complex outcomes, between chaos and order, mirrors broader cosmic themes, connecting life's story to the universal patterns explored throughout the documentary. Viewers are left with a profound sense of awe, understanding that every organism, every ecosystem, and every adaptation is a chapter in an epic saga of persistence and innovation, a story that continues to unfold, carrying implications for humanity's place in the universe and the ongoing dialogue between life, environment, and cosmic destiny. The emergence of human consciousness and intelligence represents one of the most remarkable milestones in the evolutionary story, a phenomenon that transforms the narrative of life from mere survival to awareness, creativity, and introspection. Early hominins, evolving over millions of years, developed larger brains, complex social structures, and the capacity for abstract thought, allowing them to manipulate their environment in unprecedented ways. Tool-making, language, and cultural transmission became hallmarks of this new cognitive era, creating a feedback loop in which knowledge and innovation could accumulate across generations. Human intelligence is not merely a biological adaptation, it is a bridge between life and the universe, enabling a species to reflect on its origins, explore the cosmos, and ask profound questions about existence itself. Contrast is central to the story of consciousness. On one hand, humans are fragile, mortal, and subject to the same biological limitations as any other species. On the other hand, the mind possesses an extraordinary ability to transcend immediate circumstances, to imagine distant worlds, and to detect patterns invisible to the senses. This duality, the vulnerability of the body against the power of the mind, creates tension, suspense, and emotional resonance. It highlights both the extraordinary potential and the precariousness of intelligence, emphasizing that consciousness is both a product of evolution and a rare, delicate achievement within the vast tapestry of life. The development of language is one of the most transformative aspects of human intelligence. Spoken and written communication allows for the transmission of knowledge, ideas, and culture across generations, exponentially expanding the capacity for learning and innovation. Symbols, metaphors, and abstract concepts provide a framework for understanding phenomena far beyond immediate experience. Through language, humans can describe stars that will never be visited, calculate forces that cannot be directly observed, and imagine scenarios that extend across eons. This capacity bridges perception and abstraction, creating a unique form of agency that sets humanity apart from other species and enables exploration on intellectual, emotional, and even cosmic scales. Cultural and technological innovation amplifies human intelligence further. From the creation of fire and simple tools to the development of agriculture, writing, science, and space exploration, each step builds upon the last, creating a cumulative trajectory of knowledge and capability. Ancient astronomers charted the skies, philosophers pondered the nature of reality, and scientists developed instruments to extend human senses beyond their natural limits. The story of human intelligence is thus intertwined with the history of curiosity, innovation, and imagination, revealing the mind as both a tool and a lens through which the universe can be understood. The imagery associated with consciousness is both intimate and grandiose. Picture a human hand chiseling stone tools, fingers tracing patterns of stars across the night sky, eyes scanning distant horizons in search of knowledge. Visualize the glow of a campfire illuminating faces as early humans share stories, hypotheses, and myths about the world around them. Imagine a modern observatory, its massive telescope aimed at galaxies millions of light-years away, computers processing data streams, and scientists interpreting signals from distant stars. These images juxtapose the scale of human cognition against the vastness of the cosmos, reinforcing the cinematic contrast between mind and universe, smallness and significance, fragility and power. The philosophical implications of human consciousness are profound. With self-awareness comes the capacity to ask fundamental questions. Why are we here? What is the nature of reality? Are we alone in the universe? Intelligence allows reflection on mortality, ethics, and the meaning of existence, creating a dialogue between inner experience and external observation. The emergence of consciousness transforms the story of evolution from biological progression to a narrative infused with inquiry, imagination, and the potential for transcendence. It connects life to understanding, curiosity to exploration, and observation to meaning. Emotionally, the story of human intelligence evokes both wonder and responsibility. Humans are capable of extraordinary creativity, compassion, and insight, yet also of destruction, hubris, and error. The same cognitive powers that allow for the exploration of distant stars also enable environmental degradation and conflict. This contrast between potential and peril heightens tension, creating a narrative of suspense, moral reflection, and engagement. Consciousness is both gift and challenge, a narrative force that drives curiosity, exploration, and the quest for knowledge across generations. Science and imagination intersect in the study of human cognition. Neuroscience reveals the brain's structure and function, tracing networks of neurons, chemical pathways, and electrical signals that underpin thought, emotion, and perception. Psychology examines behavior, decision-making, and learning, while anthropology explores cultural evolution and societal development. These disciplines together illuminate how intelligence emerges, evolves, and manifests, providing both explanatory frameworks and narrative depth. The interplay of empirical observation and imaginative reconstruction transforms abstract understanding into a compelling cinematic story of human mind and experience. Ultimately, human consciousness is a bridge between the earthbound and the cosmic. It allows beings composed of ordinary matter to comprehend extraordinary phenomena, to reflect on origins, to ponder destiny, and to reach for knowledge beyond their immediate experience. Intelligence transforms the story of life into a story of meaning, curiosity, and aspiration, connecting evolution, perception, and the universe itself. This section leaves viewers with awe, introspection, and anticipation, preparing them to follow the narrative from the emergence of life and mind to the exploration of the universe's deepest mysteries and the whispers that stars have carried across eons. The exploration of the cosmos by human beings is a story of curiosity, ingenuity, and an unyielding desire to transcend the boundaries of our world. From the first stargazers charting constellations with naked eyes to the construction of massive telescopes and robotic spacecraft, humanity has continually sought to bridge the immense gap between Earth and the far reaches of the universe. Each observation, each mission, each calculation represents an attempt to listen to the silent whispers of distant stars, to decode the messages encoded in light, radiation, and cosmic phenomena. This section examines the history, methods, and significance of humanity's quest to understand the universe, emphasizing both the triumphs and the challenges inherent in reaching beyond our planetary confines. Contrast fuels the narrative of exploration. On one hand, humans are confined to a small, fragile planet orbiting an ordinary star in a seemingly infinite void. On the other hand, our minds and technology allow us to traverse light-years in understanding, to map galaxies billions of light-years away, and to infer the composition, motion, and history of planets we cannot physically visit. This tension between physical limitation and intellectual reach amplifies suspense and awe. Every discovery is both a testament to human ingenuity and a reminder of the immensity of what remains unknown, a delicate balance between empowerment and humility that defines the story of cosmic exploration. The development of observational astronomy represents one of the earliest steps in this journey. Ancient civilizations, from the Babylonians and Egyptians to the Maya, meticulously charted the movement of stars, planets, and eclipses, connecting celestial patterns to calendars, agriculture, and mythology. These early observations laid the foundation for a systematic approach to understanding the heavens, transforming raw curiosity into a structured inquiry. Contrast emerges between the mythic interpretations of the cosmos and the empirical methodologies that gradually replace them, highlighting humanity's transition from narrative imagination to analytical reasoning. The invention of the telescope revolutionized our understanding of the universe. Galileo's observations revealed moons orbiting Jupiter, the phases of Venus, and the rough surface of the Moon, challenging entrenched assumptions and expanding the scale of the known cosmos. Telescopic advancements allowed astronomers to detect galaxies beyond the Milky Way, nebulae, and distant clusters of stars, revealing a universe far larger and more complex than previously imagined. Each technological leap not only increased the quantity of observable data but also deepened the philosophical and emotional resonance of discovery, emphasizing both wonder and the profound implications of human curiosity. Space exploration amplified this reach, moving observation from Earth's surface into orbit and beyond. Satellites, space probes, and telescopes outside the atmosphere provide unparalleled clarity, free from distortion caused by air and weather. Missions such as Voyager, Hubble, and the James Webb Space Telescope have unveiled previously invisible phenomena: exoplanets orbiting distant stars, the formation of stars within nebulae, and galaxies billions of light-years away. The contrast between earthbound perception and extraterrestrial observation underscores human ingenuity and the capacity to extend our senses far beyond natural limits. Cinematic imagery reinforces the drama of exploration. Imagine a spacecraft gliding silently through the void, instruments scanning the glow of distant stars, capturing faint signals traveling across light-years. Visualize astronauts observing Earth from orbit, its fragile blue surface suspended against the infinite darkness, a poignant reminder of both smallness and significance. Picture radio telescopes rotating under the night sky, listening for patterns amidst cosmic noise, their massive dishes reflecting human determination to hear what the universe has whispered for eons. These images evoke both awe and intimacy, connecting human action to the vast cosmic stage. The scientific methods of exploration involve observation, hypothesis, and increasingly sophisticated technology. Astronomers analyze light across the electromagnetic spectrum, detecting phenomena invisible to the naked eye. Radio telescopes listen for distant signals, while gravitational wave detectors sense ripples in spacetime caused by cataclysmic events. Space probes collect data on planetary atmospheres, surface composition, and magnetic fields, sending back insights that expand our understanding of planetary systems. Each method requires meticulous calibration, rigorous analysis, and creative interpretation, reflecting the interplay between human precision and the unpredictability of the cosmos. Exploration is also a story of risk, persistence, and ingenuity. Space travel challenges human physiology and engineering, demanding solutions to microgravity, radiation exposure, and communication delays across millions of kilometers. Observational programs encounter setbacks from instrument failure, interference, and the sheer difficulty of detecting faint signals amidst cosmic noise. Yet the human drive to overcome these challenges creates suspense, drama, and admiration, reinforcing the narrative of exploration as both heroic and transformative. The contrast between vulnerability and achievement heightens emotional engagement, illustrating the stakes of venturing into the unknown. Philosophically, humanity's exploration of space reflects our desire for connection and understanding. By probing the cosmos, we seek to answer fundamental questions: are we alone? How did the universe begin? What forces govern its evolution? Exploration is thus not merely a technological or scientific endeavor but an existential one, blending empirical pursuit with philosophical reflection. The act of reaching outward mirrors our inward curiosity, linking the cosmos to human consciousness and transforming observation into a dialogue between mind and universe. Ultimately, the story of cosmic exploration emphasizes both human limitation and potential. It reveals a species capable of transcending its physical boundaries, extending perception, and interpreting signals that traverse millions of light-years. Each discovery deepens our understanding while highlighting the vastness of what remains unknown. Viewers are left with a sense of awe, inspiration, and anticipation, prepared to follow the narrative further into the mysteries of the universe, where human ingenuity meets the silent whispers of stars, and the quest for knowledge continues across time, space, and imagination. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence is one of the most captivating and audacious quests humanity has ever undertaken. It is a pursuit that reaches beyond the confines of our planet, stretching the imagination to its limits, and asking a question that has echoed through human history: are we alone in the universe? The very act of posing this question reveals both humility and boldness, humility in acknowledging that Earth may not be unique, and boldness in daring to seek others who may share our cosmic stage. The endeavor is not just about detecting alien civilizations, it is about confronting our own place in the universe, our fragility, our significance, and the possibility that intelligence may not be a singular miracle but a recurring motif written into the cosmos itself. Contrast defines this narrative. On one hand, Earth teems with life, from microscopic organisms to intelligent beings capable of launching spacecraft and building radio telescopes. On the other hand, the silence of the universe remains deafening, with no confirmed signals of extraterrestrial intelligence despite decades of listening. This juxtaposition creates suspense. Either we are truly unique, or civilizations exist but remain hidden, too far, too brief, or too different to detect. Each possibility provokes awe and unease. Uniqueness emphasizes responsibility, as humanity becomes the sole known vessel of consciousness. Multiplicity, however, suggests a universe filled with untold stories and intelligences waiting to be uncovered. The scientific approach to this search blends precision with imagination. Programs like SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, use vast radio telescopes to scan the skies, seeking patterns in the cosmic static. Scientists analyze narrow bandwidth signals, pulses, or anomalies that might indicate artificial origin. Other projects explore optical signals, searching for powerful laser beams or artificial light from distant civilizations. The methods are meticulous, requiring careful discrimination between natural phenomena and potential artificial sources. Each unexplained signal, such as the famous WOW signal detected in 1977, ignites hope and speculation, though none have yet provided conclusive evidence. The process itself becomes cinematic, filled with anticipation, false alarms, and the tantalizing possibility of revelation. The imagery associated with this quest is evocative and cinematic. Imagine a control room filled with scientists, eyes fixed on glowing screens, as data streams in from telescopes scanning the void. Picture massive dishes rising against the horizon, tilting slowly to follow faint whispers across the sky. Visualize computers sifting through endless patterns of noise, searching for a signal that stands out, a message carried across light years of silence. The contrast between the immensity of space and the fragility of human instruments underscores both the enormity of the challenge and the audacity of the effort, heightening emotional engagement. The discovery of extraterrestrial intelligence would be one of the most profound moments in human history. It would reshape philosophy, religion, science, and culture, forcing humanity to confront the reality that we are not the sole bearers of consciousness in the cosmos. Questions would multiply. What form would this intelligence take? Would it be biological, mechanical, or something beyond our imagination? Would it be benevolent, indifferent, or hostile? The potential for revelation or danger amplifies suspense, reflecting both the hope for connection and the fear of confrontation. This tension drives curiosity and underscores the stakes of the search. Philosophically, the pursuit reflects deep existential concerns. If we are alone, then consciousness is extraordinarily rare, a fragile flame flickering in a vast, indifferent universe. If we are not alone, then life and intelligence may be natural consequences of cosmic processes, suggesting a universe teeming with awareness. Either possibility reshapes human self-understanding. Uniqueness emphasizes responsibility. Humanity becomes custodian of consciousness, charged with preserving and extending it. Multiplicity emphasizes humility. Humanity becomes one among many, a participant in a cosmic chorus whose scope we cannot yet imagine. Both outcomes inspire awe, contemplation, and a sense of destiny. Technological progress expands the search. The discovery of thousands of exoplanets, some within habitable zones, provides new targets for exploration. Spectroscopy reveals atmospheres rich in elements like oxygen or methane, potential biosignatures of life. Advances in artificial intelligence allow for more efficient analysis of vast data sets, improving the chances of detecting anomalies. Future missions may send probes to distant stars or deploy massive space-based observatories, amplifying the reach of our search. Each advancement intensifies suspense and anticipation, building the sense of a narrative that is steadily approaching revelation. The emotional resonance of the search cannot be overstated. It embodies humanity's longing for connection, our fear of isolation, and our desire to understand our place in the cosmos. It is a story of listening for voices in the dark, of straining to hear whispers across unimaginable distances, of waiting for confirmation that we are not alone. The silence of the universe is itself a powerful theme, a haunting backdrop against which human effort and hope shine even brighter. Whether the silence reflects absence, distance, or timing, it compels persistence and deepens the drama of the search. Ultimately, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence is as much about humanity as it is about others. It reveals our hunger for meaning, our drive to extend perception, and our willingness to face both possibility and uncertainty. It is a mirror in which we see ourselves, our hopes, our fears, and our aspirations reflected. This section concludes with a sense of suspense and wonder, leaving viewers on the edge of revelation, prepared to confront the possibility that the universe is alive with voices we cannot yet hear, or that we ourselves carry the unique burden of being the cosmos made conscious. The journey through the cosmos, from the faint glow of the first stars to the dizzying possibility of alien civilizations, has carried us to a final question that transcends science, philosophy, and imagination alike. What do the stars whisper to us, and why can't we hear them fully? This closing reflection is not simply an ending but a culmination, a cinematic crescendo where mystery and revelation meet. It is here that the viewer is invited to step back, to see not only the vastness of the universe but also the fragile miracle of life that listens, wonders, and dreams beneath it. At this point, the silence of the universe has become more than an absence, it is a profound presence in itself. The silence speaks, urging humanity to look inward even as we gaze outward. Perhaps the stars are not withholding secrets at all, perhaps they are teaching us patience, reminding us that truth unfolds not on human timelines but on cosmic ones. We measure time in decades or centuries, while the universe unfolds in billions of years. The whispers may not yet be audible because we are still children in cosmic terms, barely learning to listen, scarcely able to speak across the gulf of light years. This contrast between our urgency and the universe's patience underscores the drama of existence itself. Hope and humility blend in this realization. If the stars conceal civilizations, then one day we may join their chorus. If they remain truly silent, then the task before us is greater still, to ensure that the song of consciousness, born here on Earth, does not fade but spreads across the stars. Either possibility grants us meaning. In one scenario, we are discoverers, connecting with others who share the burden of intelligence. In the other, we are torchbearers, carrying the singular flame of awareness into the cosmic dark. Both futures inspire awe, but they also weigh heavily with responsibility. The imagery is cinematic and haunting. Imagine a camera slowly pulling away from Earth, rising past its clouds, into the black of space, showing the tiny blue dot suspended in darkness. The stars glitter around it, endless, cold, yet filled with promise. As the view expands, Earth vanishes into insignificance, and yet the voiceover reminds us, on that vanishing speck, there are beings who wonder, beings who imagine, beings who dare to ask the impossible. The very act of wondering transforms that speck into something extraordinary, a beacon in the silence. In this final act, contrast is once again the thread that binds everything together. The known versus the unknown, the silence versus the imagined voices, the solitude of humanity versus the potential chorus of cosmic civilizations. These contrasts fuel the emotion of the narrative, leaving viewers oscillating between awe and unease, between hope and dread. Mystery does not resolve into certainty, but rather into possibility, a space in which the human imagination thrives. It is this tension that keeps the stars alive in our collective dreams, even when their messages remain unheard. Philosophically, the ending strikes a balance between humility and empowerment. The universe may dwarf us in scale, but it cannot diminish the significance of our awareness. To exist and to question, to gaze upward and to long for answers, is itself a cosmic act of defiance against insignificance. The stars may not yet answer, but our pursuit, the listening, the searching, the dreaming, gives meaning to our time beneath them. This final meditation reframes the unanswered question as an invitation rather than a frustration, an open door to continue seeking, to continue imagining, to continue reaching. Emotionally, the conclusion aims for resonance, the kind that lingers after the screen fades to black. It asks the audience not only to marvel at the universe but to reflect on their own role within it. Each viewer, in their own way, becomes part of the story. Every glance at the night sky, every unanswered question, every dream of distant worlds contributes to the ongoing narrative of humanity's cosmic journey. This is not just a documentary about stars, it is a mirror held up to the human spirit, reflecting our endless hunger for connection and meaning. The final words echo like a whisper themselves, the stars are not silent, they are waiting. Waiting for us to learn, to listen, to endure. Perhaps one day, far in the future, humanity will answer back. Until then, the silence is not emptiness but potential, the canvas upon which the greatest story of all time is yet to be written. In that silence, in that waiting, lies both the mystery and the wonder of existence. The future of humanity among the stars is not merely a scientific possibility, it is a destiny we are already beginning to shape. As we stand at the threshold of space exploration, the narrative shifts from asking whether we are alone to asking whether we are ready to join the cosmos as active participants. This is a story of ambition and fragility, of daring dreams and daunting challenges. It is also a story of responsibility, because every step we take outward carries consequences not just for ourselves, but for all life on Earth and, potentially, for the wider universe. In this final arc of reflection, the stars cease to be distant symbols of mystery and instead become the very stage upon which humanity's next chapters will unfold. The journey toward this future begins with the technologies already reshaping our relationship with the cosmos. Rockets once designed for short bursts beyond Earth's atmosphere are now evolving into vehicles capable of interplanetary travel. Space agencies envision crewed missions to Mars, while private companies pursue reusable spacecraft and ambitious plans for colonization. The International Space Station serves as a modest but significant symbol of what humanity can achieve when nations work together, orbiting as a fragile outpost of human presence. Each launch, each satellite, each probe sent into the void is not just a technical achievement, but a declaration of intent: humanity will not remain confined to Earth forever. Yet the leap from planetary to interstellar civilization is vast, almost incomprehensible. Distances between stars are so immense that even our fastest spacecraft would take tens of thousands of years to reach the nearest one. This contrast, between human aspiration and cosmic scale, creates tension that defines the narrative of our future. We must develop technologies that border on the fantastical, propulsion systems harnessing nuclear fusion, antimatter, or even the manipulation of spacetime itself. Concepts like solar sails pushed by powerful lasers or generation ships carrying entire societies across centuries reflect both ingenuity and desperation. Each idea is a spark of possibility in a darkness that seems infinite. But the future among the stars is not just a technical problem, it is a philosophical one. Why should humanity spread beyond Earth at all? Some argue it is survival. Earth is fragile, vulnerable to asteroids, climate shifts, and our own destructive impulses. To remain bound to one world is to gamble everything on the fate of a single planet. Others argue it is destiny. Intelligence seeks expansion, curiosity compels exploration, and the urge to transcend boundaries is written into our nature. Still others voice caution: should we export our conflicts, our greed, and our short-sightedness into the cosmos? The stars challenge us not only to dream, but to grow, to become a species worthy of the universe we long to enter. Imagery of this future is vivid and cinematic. Picture towering launch pads at dusk, rockets silhouetted against the fading glow of Earth's horizon, engines igniting with thunderous force. Imagine the first human footprints pressed into Martian soil, the red dust rising like a silent applause. Envision vast space habitats orbiting distant worlds, spinning slowly to simulate gravity, filled with gardens, rivers, and cities under domed skies. Then push further: generation ships, colossal arcs drifting between stars, lit from within by millions of lives, carrying human stories through the centuries. These visions are not merely science fiction, they are cinematic previews of futures that science may one day bring to life. Contrast remains at the heart of this unfolding tale. Hope collides with fear, progress with uncertainty. For every image of gleaming spacecraft and thriving colonies, there is another of loneliness, risk, and failure. Space is not kind, it is hostile, cold, and indifferent. Radiation, micrometeoroids, psychological strain, and the fragility of human biology present immense obstacles. The dream of interstellar expansion is tinged with danger, the possibility of tragedy on scales we can scarcely imagine. And yet, this danger fuels the drama. Without risk, there is no story worth telling. Without uncertainty, there is no triumph worth achieving. The emotional weight of this vision cannot be overstated. To imagine humanity's future among the stars is to hold within one's mind both the awe of infinite possibility and the fear of infinite emptiness. Will we discover other civilizations, joining a chorus of voices in the night sky? Or will we carry consciousness outward alone, the solitary flame of awareness flickering in a silent cosmos? This duality sustains our fascination, making the story of our future as compelling as any ancient myth. Philosophically, the idea of a cosmic future forces us to confront questions of identity. Who are we, when stripped of national borders, languages, and conflicts, and placed among the stars? Do we carry with us the divisions of Earth, or do we finally embrace unity when faced with the enormity of the cosmos? The stars do not care whether we arrive as fractured tribes or as a single humanity, but the outcome for us will differ profoundly depending on the choice. The cosmic perspective demands growth not only in technology, but in wisdom, empathy, and vision. Even the silence of the universe, which has haunted us throughout this narrative, takes on new meaning here. Perhaps the stars seem silent because civilizations that survive long enough to venture outward choose to remain quiet, to tread carefully in a cosmos filled with unknowns. Or perhaps the silence is an invitation, waiting for us to fill it with our own story. Either way, the weight of responsibility grows heavier. If the cosmos has no voices but ours, then we carry the burden of ensuring that awareness does not fade into oblivion. If others are listening, then how we speak, what we send, and how we present ourselves becomes the most important introduction humanity will ever make. The final reflection leaves the audience with a sense of both wonder and urgency. The stars are no longer distant, passive witnesses. They are destinations, challenges, mirrors reflecting our potential. Whether we remain confined to Earth, expand into the solar system, or one day cross to other stars, the whispers of the cosmos remain the same. Become more, reach farther, listen deeper. Humanity's future among the stars is not guaranteed. It must be earned, built with courage, guided by wisdom, and sustained by imagination. And in that effort, in the struggle itself, lies the meaning of the whispers we have been chasing all along. The final chapter of this odyssey is not simply about stars, galaxies, or cosmic mysteries. It is about us, about humanity standing at the edge of infinity, listening to whispers we can barely hear, and deciding what story we will leave behind in the cosmos. Section 20 is not an ending, but a meditation, a cinematic pause that expands outward and inward at the same time. It asks, what does it mean to exist beneath a sky filled with billions of suns, most of which will never know we were here? What does it mean to live as creatures of dust who can imagine eternity? And what legacy will we choose to inscribe in the silence of space? From the beginning, we have been seekers. Ancient humans gazed upward with naked eyes, seeing not only points of light but patterns, gods, myths, and prophecies. Those constellations became the first cosmic stories, early attempts to give meaning to the incomprehensible. Millennia later, our tools have grown, but the impulse remains the same. Today, we gaze with telescopes capable of seeing galaxies billions of light-years away, and yet the essential mystery persists. We still do not know whether we are alone. This continuity, the same awe, the same hunger across the ages, reminds us that humanity's story is deeply entwined with the stars, whether or not they ever answer us. The silence of the universe remains the most haunting motif. It is not simply absence, it is presence. Silence is the canvas upon which we project both fear and hope. Perhaps it means there are no others, that consciousness is a miracle confined to Earth. Or perhaps it means that the great civilizations of the cosmos have either perished or remain hidden. The silence can terrify, it suggests fragility, the possibility of extinction. But it can also inspire. If we are alone, then the responsibility falls to us to ensure that life, awareness, and meaning do not vanish with us. The silence is not an answer but an invitation, to listen harder, to look deeper, to become more. Cinematic imagery helps carry the weight of this meditation. Imagine the final sequences of a film, a wide shot of Earth glowing faintly in the black sea of space, cities twinkling across the night, the fragile skin of atmosphere hugging the planet. Cut to the interior of a spacecraft, its crew gazing at a star field through a panoramic window, their reflections faint on the glass. Cut again to the surface of Mars, where a lone astronaut raises their visor and looks skyward, seeing Earth as nothing more than a pale point of light. These images are not only visual but symbolic, humanity rising from the soil of one world and daring to step into the cosmic dark. Hope and fear intertwine here with deliberate intensity. Hope tells us we may find others, that the stars are alive with civilizations waiting to be discovered. Fear warns us that the silence could mean death, that civilizations inevitably collapse, and that our fate may be no different. This contrast sharpens the narrative, making every moment of searching, every attempt to listen, feel urgent. In the background of our optimism lies the haunting question: if others have risen before us, why do we not hear them now? The stars whisper not with words but with mysteries, and in those mysteries lies both wonder and dread. The philosophy of legacy becomes central in this closing act. The universe is vast beyond comprehension, and our time within it is fleeting. Against that backdrop, what matters most is not how long we live as individuals but how far our story carries. If humanity endures, if we spread beyond Earth, then our story may ripple outward across eons, shaping futures we cannot imagine. If we fail, if we vanish into the silence, then our story ends here, a brief flicker unnoticed by the stars. The choice is ours, and it gives weight to our existence. The stars whisper, but what they ask is simple: what mark will you leave? Science, too, pushes us toward that future. Telescopes continue to peer deeper, detecting planets in habitable zones, analyzing atmospheres for biosignatures, seeking faint patterns in radio static that could be messages from others. Artificial intelligence now assists in processing unimaginable amounts of data, scanning the sky with precision no human could achieve alone. Missions like Voyager, already beyond the solar system, carry golden records, time capsules of humanity, perhaps destined to drift forever, perhaps one day to be found. Every discovery, every mission, is a small act of defiance against silence, a declaration that humanity will not stop asking, will not stop searching. Emotionally, this section resonates on multiple levels. For some, the search for meaning in the stars is about connection, the dream of not being alone. For others, it is about destiny, the belief that humanity is meant to explore, to transcend, to become something greater. For still others, it is about survival, the sober recognition that Earth is fragile, and that spreading into space may be our only chance at permanence. These motivations, though different, converge on the same horizon: the future lies out there, among the stars. Contrast also emerges between the cosmic scale and the personal. On the one hand, we are tiny, ephemeral, our lives measured in decades against a backdrop of billions of years. On the other hand, each individual carries within them the capacity for wonder, imagination, and action. A single scientist tuning a radio telescope, a single astronaut planting a flag on alien soil, a single child looking up at the night sky with questions too big for words, all of these become part of humanity's dialogue with the universe. Our fragility is undeniable, but so too is our significance, because we are the part of the universe that wonders about itself. As the documentary's final moments unfold, the narrative shifts from observation to invocation. This is not just about science or philosophy but about calling the audience to feel their place in this grand story. The stars are not distant objects, they are mirrors of our own potential. To look at them is to glimpse futures we may never live to see but can still help shape. The whispers we cannot yet hear are not a denial, they are a promise, a reminder that the story is not finished. The conclusion is designed to leave the audience suspended between awe and urgency. The awe comes from realizing the scale of the cosmos, the beauty of its mysteries, and the grandeur of its silence. The urgency comes from realizing that time is not infinite for us, that choices made now will echo into the future, determining whether our story continues or ends. The stars may whisper, but humanity must decide whether to answer back, and what message we will send when we do. The final cinematic image lingers, the camera pulling back, past Earth, past the solar system, past galaxies, until the entire universe is a shimmering web of light. Then, slowly, the sound fades into silence. For a moment, there is nothing, no voices, no signals, only the vast quiet of space. And then, faintly, a heartbeat. Not of a planet or a star, but of consciousness itself. The reminder that as long as we listen, as long as we dream, the silence is never truly empty. This is where the documentary ends, not with answers, but with an opening. An invitation to keep listening, to keep searching, to keep daring. Because the stars that whisper secrets we can't yet hear are not silent, they are waiting. Waiting for us to grow, to endure, to understand. Waiting for us to answer back.